they are bringing to this set 5. So it is the side of Pierre Coste on France. Just to cover their achievements, so again, they got Lille regional top 64 recently in the 2025 season. They went 6-3 at EUIC last season, Utrecht special top 32 as well, and as well as Stuttgart regional top 64. So as you can see from their achievements here, very consistent player, very high level player for France. And they are bringing a team that we might have seen before from Pierre on stream for the World Cup 2024. They've got that Incineroar, Amoonguss, Kilowattrel, Goldingo, Porygon 2 and Ursaluna as the 6.
Yeah, it does seem to be the same team they brought against Justil Dale in the semi-finals versus India. And of course, they were able to go ahead and get that 2-1 win. So feeling very confident being able to bring this into the finals. I think that's definitely what you're looking for. It's so key to be able to play to your strengths, especially to have that increased confidence with your consistent plays as well, with your overall record. Pierre is one of those notorious trainers that are at 7 wins and 1 loss. So going through ever since the qualifying stage, only dropping 1 set against our very own Simon van der Bocht, being able to just prove why he is so on form. And right now he's going up against Kandai Nagatome as well. And yeah, you got to play to your strengths.
Yeah, this is a very comfortable pick for them. As you were talking about just now, it's that physical Ursaluna with the Tailwind and Trick Room support, so it's kind of scary if you're the opponent here to try and work out which mode they want to go for, because obviously the Amoonguss under Trick Room, Incineroar under Trick Room as well, massive threats as well as the Ursaluna. But again, you got the Goldingo in Tailwind mode alongside the Ursaluna, for example. Yep. Very, very strong lineup.
Yeah, definitely. And being able to have that duality of the different speed modes is so crucial to be able to adapt on the fly, essentially. But yeah, I mean, talking about fly, let's fly way over to seeing our player 2. Of course, we're going to be featuring, it is going to be none other than Kandai Nagatome, which does confirm to us, at least, we've got a 5th Annihilate in a row that is going to be escorted by the Rillaboom, Dragonite, Goldingo, Mousehold, and the Blood Moon Ursaluna as well. Kandai, achievements-wise, previously gotten top 128 in both the Japan Nationals of 2022 as well as 2023, and actually gotten a top 32 in the 2024 Victory Road Winter Challenge. So a bit of an online warrior as well, being able to bring all of their spicy tools into this finals.
Yeah, it's a very spicy team. So far Kandai has gone 3-0 in sets, 6-3 in games in this World Cup. So they have not yet dropped a set, so that's important to note. Similar to our previous player in the last game with Mao. So they are bringing that Annihilate with the Citrus Berry support. It is Rillaboom without Assault Vest. So we'll be hitting very hard with those Wood Hammers, Grassy Glides. That Dragonite with Terra Fairy, Tailwind Haze support as well. The Loaded Dice Scale Shot set. It is that Goldingo with the Defensive Terra and the Life Orb. And that Mousehold has got a Focus Sash. I think we saw that in a previous game today, where that Mousehold was just a beast. It would not go off the field. And it's just there with his Friend Guard to support his allies setting up.
Yeah, it sort of naturally feels a bit unsynergistic to the set that it runs. It predominantly is that set to be that assisting partner by the Annihilate, even with, let's say, the Goldingo, allowing it to set up with the Nasty Plot, because you want to try to train it very bulky. But at this point, having the Focus Sash and the Mind Games of the Ghost Terror allows you to be able to read in a bit to whether there's going to be a super effective close combat that tries to get that one-hit KO. And if there isn't, at least you're still going to be able to have some form of bulk or additional bulk with the utility of the Focus Sash.
Yeah, exactly, and it just allows it to sort of sit on the field for a bit longer or be doubled up to take it out, which allows kind of its partner to just safely set up. You know, if it's got a Goldingo or even a Dragonite, if it can just get a Tailwind off or a Scale Shot off, to be faster next turn to set up Tailwind for its allies. So very, very nice. It's also got that beat-up option for that Annihilate as well. So Costa, I think we're about to find out how these two teams are going to match up here, because we are ready for game 1 here between these two players.
Oh, here we go. We're going to get the leads. Of course, we're going to be seeing it from Pierre's point of view, leading with the Amoonguss, accompanied by that Goldingo versus Kandai's Dragonite and Goldingo of their own. So all of a sudden, we've got the board set for a potential redirection option from Pierre's side, maybe get a Nasty Plot going. But over on Kandai's side, a bit more of an offensive approach with that Dragonite.
Yeah, exactly. And this Amoonguss is in a decent position here. It can obviously spoil the Dragonite or Raise Powder or any super effective Shadow Balls coming out from Kandai's side. So this Goldingo, you know, it's not affected really. It's not threatened by the Dragonite, so it can just safely probably go for a Nasty Plot. Equally, it can try and break that multi-scale on the Dragonite as well on Kandai's side.
Yeah, exactly, and it sort of allows you to be able to get some sort of initial advantage when it comes to being able to chip away the damage, or at least break those abilities and the redirection options. But all of a sudden, it looks like, Sean, we're going to have that first terrestrialization of the Golden Go over on Kandai's side from the looks of things.
Yeah, it's going to be that Terra Water, so allowing it to be safe from the Shadow Balls. It's obviously not impacted by the Amoonguss at all, so a nice defensive option for Kandai. They do go for the Protect on that Dragonite, so keeping it safe from any multi-scale breaks or any spores. But it is a Rage Powder that's coming out for the Amoonguss.
Oh, okay, so Amoonguss wanted to be able to redirect any sort of offensive moves coming out from that Dragonite, most notably being the Scale Shot, in order to be able to chip that Golden Go down to a certain point where its partner Pokemon can pick up the KO, but because of the terrestrialization there, Shadow Ball from Pierre's Golden Go is not going to be even able to break past that 50% bar. And most importantly, we've got that Nasty Plot now set up from Kandai's side.
Yeah, exactly. So this Amoonguss is Life Orb on the Kandai side of the field, so it is threatening a lot of damage with Make It Rain or Shadow Balls. However, on Pierre's side of the field, that Golden Go is Metal Coat, so it didn't even do half damage with Shadow Ball on that Terra Water Golden Go. So Pierre looking like, you know, they may have to sacrifice Amoonguss this turn to keep that Golden Go safe to potentially get an attack off.
Yeah, and I think that's sort of the main crucial point of wanting to be able to capitalize off an advantage so early on. You have a Nasty Plot Golden Go. It is so scary with the Life Orb booster. That's why the Amoonguss is going to be going for that Protect. Wants to make sure it doesn't fall down to any sort of Make It Rains, as 2-shot on the Golden Go. Steel type resistant. Of course, let's not forget, which is insane damage, and the Life Orb chip damage may actually put it within range if this Golden Go from Pierre's side can survive to actually get felled by a Shadow Ball focus. But we've got the 4th hit of Scale Shot, an actual 5th one here as well. Not enough, no critical hits that were needed to be able to capitalize and pick up a KO. But most crucially, we've got that speed interaction going for Kandai's Dragonite. But the Golden Go is enough. It's not enough. Make It Rain opted in rather than the Shadow Ball. You see Pierre's prioritization of wanting to break the multi-scale and put that Golden Go within KO range.
Yeah, very nice play from both players. Kandai covering it, you know, for the Rage Powder, going for that Make It Rain. Does do half to that Golden Go, and then Scale Shot comes out. Following that, 5 hits, bring that Golden Go down very low. But the Golden Go does, most importantly, does break that multi-scale on the Dragonite. So it's now under threat from the Pokemon in the back, potentially to go down. It's a lot weaker without the multi-scale. And, you know, in return, Kandai's Golden Go took that Life Orb recall as well. So it is very, very low here.
Yeah, it is, but at this point, we did see the interactions of speeds between the Golden Goes. It seemed like Kandai's did move first, so Pierre's going to really have to take that into consideration and potentially try to go for a defensive play here, as he does go for that Protect. Amoonguss is going to want to be able to at least perhaps even get a Spore onto the Dragonite, but the real question is it going to be able to survive a double up here? Scale Shot into the Shadow Ball at +1 from the Golden Go on Kandai's side might be enough to actually be able to put it within range. But we've got the Citrus Berry, which most crucially stops the proc because of the 4 hits rather than the 5th hit that would have been able to put it within range. But just a safe Make It Rain. Is it enough with the Life Orb boosted at +1? It is, and the Amoonguss has been felled.
It has, and that's really important there. There was not 5-hit Scale Shot, because that Citrus Berry did not come in clutch there at all. It stayed in Amoonguss' right hand top pocket, did not activate, and that Golden Go does therefore take out the Amoonguss. So that's 1 KO in Kandai's favor, and they do bring out the Clear Wattrel now with that Focus Sash.
Yeah, Focus Sash, and it's not really liking the look of that +2 speed boosted Dragonite on the other side of the field, as Scale Shot, surely we know Killer Wattrel do tend to be very, very brittle, and will probably be going down to a Scale Shot if it can connect. But yeah, this is really putting Pierre on the back foot right now because of the overwhelming speed Kandai has in their favor.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, like you said, Killer Wattrel is unlikely to survive a Scale Shot from this +2 Dragonite. It will not be faster. So we are going to see actually a Tailwind set from the Dragonite set, opting for that Tailwind rather than Scale Shot. So Golden Go will move first, and it does pick that Make It Rain. And it is enough to take out Golden Go, and it brings Killer Wattrel down to roughly half of its HP here. So that Golden Go doing its job, getting 2 knockouts.
Yeah, and actually, most likely going down to the Life Orb chip damage. It's going to be very close if it does or not. Yeah, it does. But this does allow the Killer Votrel to just go ahead and either get the Tailwind set up as well in anticipation of Kandai going for the Tailwind. But I feel like it's more so the other way around, isn't it, Sean? Where it's more so that Kandai set up the Tailwind in anticipation of Killer Votrel's Tailwind setup.
I think so, yeah. And I think that maybe they didn't want to risk a scale shot or going into protect. Maybe Tailwind was the safest play just to go for, just to cover either of those options. Obviously, scale shot with 90% accuracy, not the most accurate move in the world. So yeah, both sides now have Tailwind set up. So we're going to see Kandai set out that Rillaboom, and we're going to see Pierre go for that Ursaluna.
Yeah, so this Ursaluna really wanting to be in this mixed speed mode setting of now being able to have Tailwind, but obviously that's not the best situation given that Kandai has been able to sort of match that Tailwind, and especially seeing the Rillaboom on the other side of the field does make this Ursaluna quite concerned, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think Ursaluna is going to be the slowest thing now. Obviously, it does have a Terra Ghost, but this is a Miracle Seed Rillaboom with a Wood Hammer in grassy terrain. Even if it is Terra Ghost and Ursaluna is very high base defense stat, you know, it's not going to be. It's going to be probably close to a KO, honestly, with that Wood Hammer. I would be surprised if it was not. And then obviously Dragonite can opt to finish it off. So Killer Wattrel not looking in the best threatening positions here. Thunderbolt, you know, can't really touch Rillaboom. Well, actually, that's a lie. It can air slash the Rillaboom, but we are going to see a Terastization now.
Ooh, okay, all right. Pierre actually going for their own Terra. It is going to be the Ursaluna. It does want to forego that weakness to the grass type, of course, and most crucially, allow it to be able to get that immediate pressure. It's not sort of scenario where you can protect and wait for the burn to proc. You need to be able to go on the offensive and start picking up those KOs as soon as possible, as the Killer Votrel is going to opt to go for that protect. They will be able to avoid those fierce scale shots from Dragonite's side. Not yet felled. Woodhammer will be focusing down into the Ursaluna. This is a bulky Pokemon. It will be able to survive in the grassy terrain, even from that Miracle Seed boosted Rillaboom, and it will pick up the KO because of the scale shots. We had the -2, if not -3 at that point. All it needed was a Facade into it, does get rid of that slot. And now all of a sudden, we've got a 2 versus 2 scenario between both trainers.
Yeah, very nice play from Pierre, protecting that Killer Wattrel, keeping it for potentially this end game. Obviously, it's threatening massive damage into that Rillaboom. It's not Assault Vested, so we'll be taking a lot of damage from the Air Slash. And it is an Annihilate as well to come out. So both of these Pokemon are weak to Killer Wattrel, and they do not have Terror available. So there's some calls to be made here. Killer Wattrel in a good position.
It is, but I'm not sure because of how frail it is and the fact that Miracle Seed's on this Rillaboom. Do you feel like the Grassy Glide could actually pick up the KO from that range because of its +1 priority?
I think it should survive, right? Like, it's half HP, exactly, pretty much. I don't know if Grassy Glide will pick it up, honestly. But maybe that's an option that Kandai has to go for. You know, if they get the knockout on the Killer Wattrel, they're in a very, very strong position to win the game. So maybe that is a play that we do see come out here from Kandai's side. But on the other hand, if you ignore this Ursaluna, obviously it's threatening massive damage with Facades. So, you know, you have to be careful of that. And we are actually going to see a Grassy Glide into Ursaluna.
All right, okay, just wanting to go for the safe side of things. Does pick up the KO, no protects from that Ursaluna, which does mean the Annihilate will be able to most likely go for the attack on the Killer Votrel, as the Killer Votrel does focus down, goes for the S-slash, pick up on the Rillaboom, because of course it doesn't have that Assault Vest, but no actual offensive move from this Annihilate means it's putting itself within a susceptible range of not only getting KO'd maybe in 1 or 2 turns depending on if there's a critical hit, but to those flinches.
Yeah, exactly. This could come down to whether Air Slash either OHKOs or gets that flinch. It does not get the one-hit knockout, so will it get the flinch on the Annihilate? That Citrus Berry does activate, keeping it safe from potentially another Air Slash in the next turn, but maybe not. But will it flinch this turn, or will it get an attack off? It will get an attack off, so it should be enough to take out Killer Wattrel.
Yeah, Killer Wattrel will be downed from that very furious Rage Fist from Kandai's side. Didn't want to even mess about there. It's too angry to get flinched, apparently. And Kandai was going to go ahead and pick up that game 1. So, what a very quick turn of events from the different board states that we had. We had the +2 speed scale shot boosted Dragonite, and then we had the sort of the Peter, I would say more so the matching of the Tailwinds from both of our trainers' side, but the Ursaluna was sort of brought into a situation where it feels like it wasn't able to capitalize off of having the speed advantage that this sort of core tends to really favor.
Yeah, exactly. I think you said it right there, Costa. If Kandai does not set up the tailwind there, and Dragonite either misses a scale shot or Kilowatt protects, and Dragonite goes down, then he has in a really strong position because Ursaluna can outspeed everything on with tailwind up on Pierre's side. So if they can get tailwind up the next turn, they're in a good position. So nice play from Kandai there, kind of covering all options. Pierre potentially scared to bring that Incineroar mode because of the Annihilate, but I feel like Incineroar would have been very, very good there because we saw the Rillaboom, the Goldengo, and the Dragonite. So Incineroar is, can get Intimidate down on those two Pokemon and obviously threatens Goldengo, forcing it to Terra. So maybe we see that in this next game, but that was quite a close end game there. If the Kilowattrel does get that air/flinch, then it should be enough on the next turn to take out that Annihilate. So very close between the two players.
So you feel like there could be perhaps an adaptation from bringing the Incineroar from Pierre's side. Do you feel like there's any sort of need of adaptation, let's say, from Kandai's side? Do you feel like the 4 mons that were brought were well suited? Because we did see earlier on in that game 1, there was that speed advantage both with the Dragonite as well as the Goldengo outspeeding Pierre's Goldengo.
Well, Pierre has a Porygon and a Trick Room mode, so maybe if you're Kandai, you kind of predict that in game 2 they're going to try something different and not bring Tailwind and instead bring Trick Room. Kandai's team does not have a lot to deal with Trick Room, so maybe we see the Mouse Hold in this game or the Assault Vest Ursaluna just to try and get through those Trick Room turns.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. And you definitely, being able to bring the Porygon too as a Pokemon, you know how bulky it is. You know that it's got that duality of not only being there for the defensive side of things, or the setup, should I say, but it can go on the offensive. If you could pick up a sort of cheeky download boost as well at some point, depending on which Pokemon Kandai has on the field, that could be an opportunity that you could look out for. You are Terra fighting, but which does mean that you wouldn't be able to match up as nicely into the Goldengo over on Kandai's side, which it feels like is a real key piece for Kandai's strategy.
Yeah, it does, and I think that the only real thing threatening Goldengo for Pierre's side of the field is that Goldengo itself, and that is Incineroar, sorry. But the Ursaluna in Trick Room obviously threatens Goldengo. Some mind games around where Terra switches out or not, of whether it even survives a headlong rush when it's Terra'd. So those are things that we could be watching out for in this next game. But we are now ready to go into game 2 between these two players. So we're going to see Rillaboom and Annihilate come out on the side of Kandai, and we're going to see that Kilowattrel Ursaluna lead for Pierre.
Ooh, okay, so wanting to get that mode immediately activated from Pierre's side, having the Tailwind support for that Ursaluna, you will be able to outspeed all of Pokemon on Kandai's side. But Kandai having the option of having the Fake Out, you've got the potential early setup as well with that Bulk Up Annihilate.
Yeah, I like this lead from Kandai because Incineroar would have been a good bring in the game 1. So we did see in the back for Pierre that they do actually have that Incineroar in the back. But if they do swap it in to intimidate that Rillaboom, they are going to give Annihilate a Defiant boost here and give it a +1. So very, very nice lead from Kandai. Kind of covering all options, in my opinion, for them. Because it's also covering Porygon leads. So, this Kilowattrel is under threat from Fake Out, but it does have that Terra Ghost. So it can work around it.
Oh, but actually opting to switch it out right now, not wanting to mess about with any sort of mind games between the terrestrializations or not. You're able to bring in that resist to the grass typing, and not even a Tailwind setup. Air Slash targeting the Annihilate will proc that Citrus Berry, which brings it up within range of potentially even surviving thanks to the subsequent grass terrain recovery, but it does get flinched. Most crucially, Woodhammer into the Kilowattrel will be able to bring it down to its Focus Sash with the critical hit. I'm not even sure if that really mattered, because this seems to be an absolutely ferocious monkey.
It is. It's very angry about that. It's obviously got 100 base power Rage Fist now, but it could not move on that turn. However, the Rillaboom does get a critical hit with that Woodhammer to bring the Kilowattrel down to its Sash. So, it's obviously under threat here from a Grassy Glide from Pierre's side. So, it's risking going down here. Obviously, the Goldengo is under threat from this Annihilate, 100 base power Rage Fist. It cannot Terra Water safely in front of a Rillaboom because it has grass moves. So, this is a good position for Kandai to be in, even though they got flinched.
Yeah, exactly. And being able to have that guarantee of picking off the Kilowattrel as well with that priority Grassy Glide is so crucial, because it essentially means that Pierre won't be most likely able to get that Tailwind set up safely, if not at all, as we do have the Incineroar brought onto the field. It will be able to, yeah, exactly, because we've got that Defiant proc now, +1 boosted Annihilate, as we've got in parallel the Protect being set off by that Kilovotrel. You see the Grassy Glide from that Rillaboom is trying to pick that key piece off the field, but we've got the Rage Fist into this Incineroar. Even at +1 is going to do negligible damage, especially even after the increase of 50 base power from that first hit.
Yeah, exactly. I think nice switch from Pierre. They did give the Annihilate the Defiant boost, but you did see Rage Fist go into that slot. So, they kept both Pokemon safe for now. But this Kilovotrel is still, under threat potentially from a Grassy Glide, but you can now fake out that Rillaboom. It does not have Protect, so you can safely just fake out that slot and keep this Kilovotrel safe and get another S-Slash off, or a Tailwind.
Yeah, exactly. There's sort of different mind games that you've invited as well because of having the option of having the Incineroar now on the field. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of a tricky scenario because I think Pierre is more inclined to be able to make that reactionary move right now and lull Kandai into a bit of a conditioning state of always anticipating Pierre wanting to really value the Kilovotrel and might even actually be able to capitalize off of that because of the fake out onto the Rilla. It will guarantee the Air Slash is chosen, not even a Tailwind, and doesn't even pick up the KO.
Oh, that's massive. It just survives. Incineroar does survive. A +1 Drain Punch goes to 2 HP. And, maybe a prediction there from Pierre coming out to say, you know what, this Annihilate is under threat. And it won't want to Terra, so maybe going for that Protect, but actually the Annihilate just goes for the attack into the Incineroar, takes it straight down. The 2 HP obviously heals now from Grassy Terrain, but both these Pokemon are under threat from the Rillaboom.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when would you ever expect to hear that an Incineroar is under threat by a Grassy Glide Rillaboom, Sean? I don't think
Rarely.
you often do. Yeah, very, very rarely. And we've already got a scenario where Kandai, even though we felt it was a bit of a passive lead from their side in terms of speed control, they were really able to capitalize off some really crucial turns and allow themselves into a point where they still have both of their Pokemon well placed. And I would say, at least for the Annihilate, really healthy and in a really crucial point of having 150 base power Rage Fist at +1 whilst being at full HP.
I'm gonna see here Pierre retreat that Kilovotrel and they do send out that Golden Go, so they are risking a Rage Fist into that slot, but we are gonna see a Grassy Glide from the Rillaboom go into that slot, bring Golden Go down slightly, and it is just a Rage Fist into that Incineroar. Yeah, very safe play coming out from Kandai, and it will be enough to take out the Incineroar here.
Okay, alright, so Incineroar is now offline. We can have that Kilovotrel being brought back in, but I think what Pierre has identified is trying to stall out the remaining turns of Grassy Terrain whilst having that Kilovotrel act as a enabler with the setup of the Tailwind, because if you're able to do that, then surely you've got enough damage, or at least you'll allow and enable your partner Pokemon to try to get that initial damage off straight away before Kandai's Pokemon can move.
Yeah, I think you're right, Costa, and also the fact that Annihilate can still terrestrialize to that Terrafire, so it will be safe from any super effective flying moves coming its way. However, this Golden Go still under threat here. Grassy Terrain is still up, and its only defensive Terra is Water. So if it does defensively Terra here, and Kandai correctly predicts that, this Golden Go will probably not be around for very much longer.
Yeah, this is going to be so crucial because you're at sort of the mid-game scenario of a game 2 where you can easily, turn the tide or get the tides turned against you. And Kandai going for that initial jump of a play, wanting to have the Grass Terrain available in future subsequent turns. Double Protect from Pierre. We see Kandai has absolutely been able to initially capitalize off of the expected passive, or should I say defensive, play that Pierre felt forced into because of the overwhelming amount of pressure from that Grass Terrain Grassy Glide.
Yeah, and they safely get the Dragonite in to potentially threaten this turn. It's not extreme speed. It does have that haste over the extreme speed, so it cannot, this Kilovotrel is still in a good position to potentially move first, get an attack off, maybe get a cheeky flinch off before it goes down here, or a Tailwind, and maybe this Golden Go can now safely terrestrialize into that Terra Water to maybe get, a Nasty Plot off, or a Shadow Ball into that Annihilate. So, much more balanced board state than a few turns ago here.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to have to come down to the speed interactions as well, based on which Pokemon will move first. We know that Kilovotrals, of course, will be faster, and they'll get the Tailwind set up first, but Pierre actually opting to go for the switch-in of the Ursaluna, trying to bait a Rage Fist into that slot from the Annihilate, expecting it to be a Golden Go, but the Annihilate does not fall for it. It goes for the Drain Punch. It does pick up the KO onto the Kilovotral right now, and this is most likely gonna be a Tailwind setup as well to match Pierre's. Very beautiful play from Kandai here in the past couple of turns. Absolutely exquisite.
Yeah, Kandai successfully calling out that Golden Go to either switch or defensively Terra, so they do just go for the safe option of attacking that Kilovotral to take it off the field here. It does get that Tailwind up though, but however, Kandai also gets that Tailwind up, so that Annihilate still probably likely going to be faster than this Golden Go, and definitely going to be faster than Ursaluna, so it's still +1, it's still in a very good position here, the Annihilate.
Yeah, it really is. So it's going to have to come down to the reads of how do you expect the reactionary play from Pierre to come out? Is it going to be the Terra on the Ursaluna, or is it going to be the Terra on the Golden Go? Each have their own merit, and you just need to be able to recognize how your opponent feels like they need to be able to act against this pressure from your side.
Yeah, it's potentially a call here from Pierre to make. We are seeing them potentially hover that Terra Ghost on the Ursaluna instead. And maybe, yeah, opting for that Protect. So it is a call. It's a 50-50 in my opinion, what goes on here. But, you know, it's likely for Drain Punch to go into that Ursaluna slot unless Kandai's making a massive read. So Terra Ghost for one turn is probably the safe option. So that is the option they go for. It is Halloween again, Costa. It's Terra Ghost Ursaluna.
It is indeed, and what a way to be able to try to scare its opponents down to the point where they have to protect. Annihilate going for that, not wanting to be failed out or called out at any point, but we see the speed interactions of the protects there. We know there's Tailwind set up on both sides of the field. Annihilate is faster than Kandai, able to stall out that protect from the Golden Go and read in to that focus from the Ursaluna. Really good, safe play from Kandai. We saw the Scale Shot trying to at least chip away onto that Golden Go.
Yeah, exactly. A very safe play here. Scale Shot covering the Terra on Golden Go. But now there's two Ghost types that are slower than a Ghost type opposite. So how does Pierre get through these turns? I do not know. Maybe there has to be some calls made here. Maybe you don't protect the Ursaluna. Maybe you just go for an attack here.
Yeah, or you might try to go for a double protect. It's going to be so crucial right now because obviously Annihilate can only target one Pokemon. There is a double protect attempt. It does not go through. Annihilate absolutely ignores the Golden Go. Goes for the Ursaluna like you called out, Sean, and does pick up that KO. And all of a sudden, so much momentum going in from Kandai's side. This Golden Go is just going to be susceptible to so much damage and control from Kandai's board state, where we're going to have to see Kandai go ahead and wrap this up.
Yeah, I think that was a Scale Shot miss at the end there, but it doesn't really matter now. You know, Annihilate's always going to be faster than this Golden Go. It is crucial, though, if somehow they stall out these Tailwind turns, and somehow Annihilate is not faster than Golden Go, but it is. But if it isn't, there is a way for Kandai to win, to lose, sorry. But we are probably just going to see the forfeit come out here. This Annihilate just very, very strong for Japan again in this set.
Yeah, what a way to go about it. There we go. We got the confirmation. Kandai Nagatome is going to be able